Alright, another tier list video. After playing the shit out of this game and testing several gears and playing against opponents all over the world, I will do an updated tier list. Let's don't waste much time and get straight into it. Starting off the list is Boom Boom, and pooh. He is bad, guys. He's really bad. First of all, Boom Boom is super inconsistent, and there are obviously situations where he saves like 5 shots in a row just to concede a non-charged shot by Waluigi from the halfway line. Plus, there are specific angles and mechanics in this game where he automatically isn't able to save the ball. Lately, there have been actually rumors about Quitter returning in Battle League as one of the DLC characters, but as we know, these are just rumors and Nintendo haven't confirmed anything at all so far. Next up is Bowser, and like I said in my previous tier list video, Bowser is still very reliable and can be used as a tank in defense to deflect balls and tackle opponents, but he can also be used as a great striker because of his vanilla shooting stats, which are already great and can be improved even further with the right gear. Personally, I would recommend you, if you are a big Bowser fan and want to use him at all costs, to go for the tanky defense gear setup, because I think that there are better strikers in this game that can be used in attack while the game is currently lacking some good defenders besides Waluigi. So it makes sense to use Bowser in the defense. DK goes into B tier and has therefore been downgraded from A tier, and the reason for this is that I still think that DK is a good player in the offense, don't get me wrong, but I've noticed that there are just better strikers that have a better finishing than DK. DK is very similar to Bowser, which means that he's also reliable and can be used in defense and offense, but unlike Bowser, I'd rather use DK in the offense. His passing can be kind of useful, and in general he feels a bit more agile than Bowser, which would be the reason for me to use him over him when it comes to attacking. Luigi kind of retains his spot in B tier, and Luigi is overall a solid player. His technique can be deadly if used right, and the craziest longshot goals I've scored so far in this game were definitely with Luigi. It is possible with him to recreate Tsubasa's topspin, which is kinda cool. Luigi's biggest problem is his consistency. Most of the time it's pretty hard to score goals with him, as his finishing isn't consistent enough. So I would recommend you to use him as a kind of playmaker and boost his speed and passing, maybe strength, so that Luigi in general becomes the perfect midfielder who is in control of your attack and can also support your defense if needed. His high vanilla technique stats will also help you during the hyper shot. Peachy stays in A tier, and yeah, like I said in the last video, Peach is still a great and very balanced character. I adjusted her shooting and strength a bit by upgrading them, and now she has become even more important for my team. I think many people are afraid of Peach's shooting, which is actually pretty good, so don't get blinded by that. If you still have doubts, you can easily upgrade her shooting without sacrificing too many of her other stats. The only big weakness Peach has at the moment is her hit zone, which is very small, but yeah. In general, I feel like she's a great asset alongside Bowser or Waluigi in defense. Rosalina. S tier, no debate. By far the best forward in this game and a must pick in your offense. Basic Rosalina was already broken, but geared Rosalina? Holy moly. If she gets into a good shooting position, you can basically just put your controller away and accept that you're going to concede a goal. I also feel like Rosalina is the only character in this game where the whole community comes together as one and agrees that she's just super strong in this game. I love her hyper shot, by the way, which is one of my favorite, if not the favorite hyper shot of all the characters, and yeah. I just wanted to mention that. Mr. I'm the best still isn't the best and stays in C, but listen. Unlike last time where I completely destroyed him in my analysis, I have to tribute him some respect this time. Because Toad alone isn't really a strong character, but with the right gear setup, and especially if you take more than one Toad into your team, Toad becomes a character who's easily on A tier level. I'm currently doing a series where I play a full Toad team and try to stay undefeated as long as possible, and I created a team out of Troll, and the team is actually really strong and not to be underestimated. So yeah, like I said, Toad just by himself should be a C tier, but if adjusted right, and especially if it takes several Toads into your team, he can become a very strong character who is like B or even A tier material. Alright. Waluigi moves from S into A tier, and he's still super good in my opinion and the best defender in the game, and I actually think that you can also kind of use him in the offense if you do it right and go for example for sweaty goals with him, or try to get as near as you can to your opponent's goal. But the reason why I've moved him down by 1 tier is that I think that he isn't untouchable anymore. I think he can be replaced and has lost his status as meta character because you can replace his position with other characters like Bowser or even DK, which are great tanks and can therefore also be used instead of Waluigi in the defense. I will still use Waluigi in the future as I think that he is still the strongest defender, but he can definitely be replaced with other characters. Next up is Wario, and I'm sorry guys. I've read the comments from the Wario fanbase under my last tier list video, and I tried so hard to include Wario into my main squad, but everything I tried, every setup just didn't work. Wario's shooting seems to be so off in so many occasions, his hit zone is low, he's slow, and it also doesn't make much sense to use him in a kind of playmaker role, as there are characters like Yoshi, Peach, Luigi, DK and so on who can fulfill this role much better than him. Nevertheless, I will not give up using different setups on Wario in the future, as Wario was actually pretty good in charged, and there are sometimes games where my opponents don't do that bad with him, which gives me kind of hope that Wario can actually be a decent character in Battle League, so yeah. Last but not least, we got Yoshi, and Yoshi also remains in B. Yoshi is a character that can simply go into A tier with the right gear, because he has very good basic stats that can be changed without dropping too many other stats. Many good players like to use Yoshi in the offense, as he got good shooting and passing stats, and Yoshi also does have a good hit zone. So Yoshi definitely is a very good character overall who, like I said, could easily be in A tier. So yeah, that was my updated tier list video. Would you agree with the list, or do you think there should be some changes? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe and have a nice day.